Were you guys allowed to go home after your hospital stay? Like back to where you're from?
So after the transplant, when my white blood cell count got to a certain level, yeah, I got to drive back home 4 hours to go home.
Did you?
I
wasn't allowed to.
Only time I checked in, checked out.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and then I went home for a week, and then I went to in-house physical therapy.
So where did you go after the adult?
They wanted me to stay like in the area so I could go to the doctor like every day or every other day. They wanted me here just in case something happened.
Oh.
Yeah.
As far as the rehabilitation and everything
Did
goes,
you go to therapy then?
Yes.
You did. Did you
Yeah.
have therapy?
I had to get a hip replacement, so I had like.
You had a hip replacement?
Yeah.
After the adult stem cell transplant?
Whammy, whammy.
Yeah.
Oh, wow. Wait.
I did it like.
Because you
I did
were
it
like
a
bone
year
on bone,
after.
or what were you?
I did it a year after, but I was bone on bone because of the sickle cell. I had avascular necrosis, so I did physical therapy after my hip replacement.
Well,
Okay.
when I went to, I told them up there when they released me, you know, that I would go to physical therapy.
I didn't have to go to therapy.
Yeah.
You didn't do
Maybe
anything?
because I was a therapist.
Well,
Maybe.
I had been bedfast for so long, you know, I was frozen. So
Yeah.
I needed physical
Yeah,
therapy.
yeah.
bad.
I was walking around. I mean, even during my transplant, I was walking around. I was
Yeah.
able to leave the room for short periods of time at one point.
But I went to, I came home from Northwestern and stayed home for a week, and then I went to a in-house physical therapy in Nashville where you stay. You don't get to go home. I
Yeah.
stayed there for 30 days.
Yeah, yeah.
And now I said a while ago
30
there were
days,
30
inpatient
30
therapy.
days, 30 days.
Wow.
And my key word of that is you got to be regimented. You have to be regimented. You got to get up at 5 o'clock in the morning. You got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning. Whatever time you want to get up, you get up
and
at
do
that
it.
time, and this is what you do. Now, when I went in there for physical therapy, she's a physical therapist, and I don't know how tall you are, but she was about 5'2".
Me too.
You know, and
I'm
she
5'2".
and she was, you know, she worked out it. She looked like a little gorilla, and she ain't gonna listen to no. I need to do this. Or I don't feel. None of that applied.
See, you had a tough cookie therapist. I'm a little more gentle.
Yes, there wasn't anything gentle.
Now, I work with like dementia.
She had compassion about me being sick and me being hurting and all that kind of stuff. She understood all that, but she never did take her foot off the gas with me.
She knew
She
you could
stayed
do
right
it.
on the gas with me because she could see that if she did, I was going to get there where she wanted me to be. But she knew I needed the motivation to get there because after what I'd been through. But she
Seems
was,
like we all have that in common, that we're like very motivated to get better, and we were sick of being sick.
You have to be.
Yeah.
That's what I said a while ago. It's as well as physically, it's mentally just as important way I think it is.
Yes.
If you're not prepared for it, if you're not going to give it 100% to save your life, stay at home.
So you don't take any medications for scleroderma?
No, I don't take nothing. For
Yeah.
that.
See,
No.
I don't take any medications
No.
for lupus.
No.
Yeah, I don't take any for sickle cell,
Yeah.
no pain
See,
medications,
now,
nothing.
isn't that so
yeah.
amazing that we take
Yeah.
we all take no medications?
Yeah.
You know, and
Yeah.
here people are out here that's got the same, and they're just loading them up with 5, 6, 7, 8 medications
Yeah.
you got to take
That's
every
what I felt
day,
like I
you
was
know?
on. I was on so many medications.
Me
And for
too.
some of my patients to be like, Jackie, you don't know what it's like to take all these medications. I'm
Yeah.
like, actually, yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
And-
having to take them at specific times
Yes,
and all that stuff.
yes.
Like, yeah,
you have to
it's
be
a
really
lot.
organized and like
Yeah.
take the ones before you eat and after you eat
Absolutely.
and at lunch, and then at the end of the day you would have timers set to take
Yeah.
all your medications.
And how would you feel if you didn't have to take all those medications?
Right.
Yeah.
And
You
now
know?
we don't have
How
to.
would you feel
yeah.
then? You
Yeah.
know?
People don't
'Cause
think
we
about
don't have
that.
to anymore.
Yeah.
You know what else I noticed too is that when you're sick, you don't necessarily know what it feels like
To be healthy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To be
So when
normal.
you're
Yeah.
healthy, you're like,
It's almost, yeah.
wait a minute,
Yeah.
I didn't even know what this was like.
Yeah.
So I probably had lupus or had symptoms before I was even diagnosed because I didn't even know that I was. You
Yeah.
don't feel when you're sick. You know, you don't
Yeah.
know what it feels like. And then when you're healthy, you're like, oh my gosh, this is what it's supposed to be like.
Yeah. There's so much more you can do.